Welcome back, folks. My name's Anthony Valentine, the Camper Nerd. Today I'm going to be showing you around a Laika. I can't pronounce it. I'm not a Laika expert. You know by now my speciality is Motorhomes and auto sleepers. But every now and again I come across a wonderful, nice motorhome camper van off dealers who cherry pick and supply me with Motorhomes and auto sleepers. This particular one came from a camper dealer down in Somerset Motorhome Centre. I got a couple of auto sleepers off them and they said, you need to look at this Laika. This is just coming part exchange. Well, when I saw it, absolutely fabulous. It's a Laika, I can't even pronounce it, E-C-O-V-Y-O or an E. Italian. So this is a premium motorhome company from Italy. In fact, it's the best motorhome company in Italy. Recently, I think, was it 2010 or 15, they've now been bought out and they're within the German Heimer company. So they're a German Heimer, but they knew the product. Laika's been going for 60 years. They really are a premium product. Italian premium. I like my auto sleepers, which I like to call a premium product made in the United Kingdom. But anyway, yeah, this is, well, wait till you see inside. 4-berth, it's got a fixed bed at the back. The condition of this is over the top. It's only had 3 owners. The last owner has had it for 12 years, clearly has looked after it. Wait till you see inside, it's incredible. It gets better and better. Big boy engine, 2.8 turbo diesel. You know what, we'll just have a quick look while we're here now. Timing belt was changed at 50 or 56, 57,000 miles 5 years ago. So 15,000 miles on that timing belt. I'm telling you now, there's no problem with that. I think the book says minimum 6 years, and that's if you're driving it hard as a commercial vehicle. The timing belt's fine for years, but at a very minimum, you don't have to worry about it for at least 1 more year. Yeah, big boy engine, 2.8. Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. It's on the Fiat Relay. So the Fiat Ducato rather. The Fiat Ducato is exactly the same as the Peugeot Boxer and the Citroen Relay. So it's the Mark 1. Parts are readily available. Have been supplying these for years. So it's the 2.8. I drove this back from Somerset, just over 250 miles. Perfect, 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 perfect. Centre lane, at speed. No problem whatsoever driving it. But we'll go out for a drive shortly and I'll demonstrate that. Bodywork, I'm going to give it, we'll give it 8.5 out of 10, maybe 8.75. We're just going to drop it as a little bit of a scrape at the top there. It's probably gone past a tree. Don't forget, 99, so it's 26 years young. A little bit of a scrape there. And we've got a little bit to the corrugated side, just a little bit of a scrape there. It's not gone into the paint. There's no damage. So we're going to just lose it, maybe 1.25 points. But for 26 years old, it's outstanding. MOT history is fine. I think there was just one advisory on the last. Was it a brake pipe covered in grease or something? So I'll get that checked out, but it's fine. The MOT, Victor 585 Delta Papa Yankee. Paperwork trail, well, it's got the lot. What have we got? We've got spur keys, we've got a towed alarm, we've got the master red key. So we've got 3 keys with 2 towed alarm fobs. Come round here, Jake. You've got to film all this. This paperwork trail is fantastic. We've got the original Laika book showing all the ignition key numbers, alarm numbers, etc. That's the Laika Destructions. All in the original supplying dealer was Brown Hills. Even got the supplying wallet. What else? Viewers of a certain age will understand what this is. Jake, my grandson, has got no idea. You know what that is. Betamax failed, but VHS succeeded. So if you've got a VHS tape, you can have the demonstration. The original Laika VHS instructions for use. And the Great Britain flag there, it was there. Right, what have we got? We've got Fiat Aftercare, but now we've only got 6 or 7 stamps in the early days, stamped up to 2003. Then we've got a pile of paperwork for the second owner, who up to 2013. Then the last owner, who has had it 12 years, looks like he has only been having it to Danny Harvey Automotive. And we've got every invoice in, annual servicing. As I say, that timing belt was changed 15,000 miles ago, previous MOTs. We've got the logbook showing 3 forms, so that's 4 in total. Now, I've noticed that the second one back was 1 year. I bet that was the original dealer. Then we've got the first proper owner for 11 years. Then we've had a middle owner for 1 year, and the last owner has had it for 12 years since 2013. Incredible. What have we got on the logbook? 2.8cc heavy oil, which is in layman's terms diesel. It's correctly classified as a motor caravan. Fantastic. Okay. And we've got, well, we've got destructions galore here. We've got the certificate of insulation for the alarm. We've got all the instructions for everything whatsoever. It's beautiful. Let's have a walk round. Oh, just before we go round, so as I say, I'm not a Laika expert, but I do recognise and I can see a good motorhome. So the next video, folks, will be this Motorhome Duo, fiberglass body. So that's a Motorhome Duo. I think that's the 1.9 diesel engine, and it's done, I think, 105, 106, 107,000 miles. It's even got the gas heater in the back. It's lovely inside. Last owner spent a few bob. He's put a solar panel on, reversing camera, big display in the centre of the dashboard. So that's one's coming up for sale. We'll put that in an auction in the next few days, probably at the weekend. Oh, and this one just arrived yesterday. One of my favourites. An Auto Sleeper Topaz. If you can come round with the camera, Jake. This is unusual. So it's a 1.9 turbo diesel, 5-speed manual. I have actually got an automatic due in as well, if you want an automatic Topaz, but I've got one lady who's first in line for that, so I can't promise you. But if you want to contact me, 0798 526 1078. The easiest form of communication is just pick up the phone or WhatsApp me, and then I'll keep me in my WhatsApp and I can send you pictures and details. That's how most of my sales go. Nothing to do with auctions. I match customers up with vehicles that are due in. But this has just arrived. 1.9 turbo diesel. I drove it just over 100 miles back yesterday. Drives very well on the motorway. And I think it's only had 2 owners. We're just waiting for the V5. The first owner had it for ages and spent just under £2,000. Look at this, folks. It's the first one I've ever seen. So the passenger side on a Topaz is a sofa. And then you've got the 3-point seat belt with a forward-facing seat here. They took it back to Auto Sleeper, spent just under £2,000 and had it converted. So this has got 4 forward-facing seat belts, all with 3-point seats. But of course, you can press a lever there and you can still have that as a sofa. So you've got the best of both worlds. You've got the original Topaz configuration, or with one lever, hey presto, and you've got 4 travelling seats. And if the camera can spin round, of course, being a Topaz, you've got both the drivers and the passenger swivel seats. Let's get back to our Laika. I don't know why I have it in my head, Freddie Laika. Those of a certain age remember Freddie Laika making those, he was a bit ahead of his time, wasn't he? Making the cheap flights over to America. I think his price point was £99. I think that was in the 80s. Now that's what Laika means to me, but that was L-A-K-E. This is a different spelling of Laika, the Italian brand. Okay, so coming down the side, I've just put you a gas bottle there. It came with a 6 kilogram propane bottle, but there's room there for 2 13 kilogram propane bottles. And luck would have it, a cancelled order, I've got, full to the brim, a 13 kilogram propane bottle. There is a national shortage and it cost you well over £100 just for the bottle deposit, never mind filling it up. So I'm going to include that in the sale. So then you've got a 6 kilogram and you've got a 13. So I suggest you use all that gas. That'll keep you going for months and months and months. And you've got a small 6 kilogram when you run out of that. So I'm going to include that on the sale. You've got 2 things. Of course, Steve, well, he just checked it over last week and he said, everything works. Just perfect. Absolutely perfect. but of course he's changed the gas hose and the regulator, so that's all been changed, and he's passed it off, so you've got new habitation certificate. That side I've shown you the 2 little minor scrapes. On this side, because it's a fixed bed, we press a lever here. It's like a reverse bonnet pull, and this gives you access. It's like having a mini garage. So underneath, if the camera can come down, you've got access there to underneath the fixed bed. Massive area, but of course you can just pull the bed up from inside. We'll click that into place, that's safely closed, and you can lift the bed. I'll show you, demonstrate when we go inside, and then you've got access to under the bed from there or inside. Coming around the back, what have we got? We've got ladders. We've even got a reverse camera, full colour, that works. It's even got a cash for crash camera, so it's got one of those cameras at the front. I'm not sure how that works, you'll have to work that out yourself. If it works, it's a bonus, but it's just wired in by the mirror, but you'll see that shortly. Last owner's left you some stickers. Right, it doesn't look like they're hiding anything. No, there's no damage there, but as I say, if you want those stickers leaving on, that's how it's staying. If you want them pulling off, or any that upset you or whatever, if the camera wants to come in, well, we've got a cider, we've got a duck. Don't be a dick. Pindleworth.com, Octopus, Funk and the Two-Tone Baby, Folk the Seashell, Rintins, Whipjacks, Medieval Bar, Wild Festival, On an Adventure Before Dementia, Secret Squirrel Bash, Happy 50th Ian. Don't know who that was, because the last owner was called Roger. Incidentally, he was in the Midlands, Stafford area. Top tip for you. These motorhomes of a certain age, we don't want to, obviously we're not going to get perfection, but what is a mistake, and I know this from experience and I've learned the hard way, seaside vehicles. Certain vehicles, if you're right close to the seaside, and if it's not done many mileage and it's had ownership for a long time, I wouldn't say it sends warning signals to me, but I overlook at them. So in other words, if I inspect a vehicle that's been at the seaside, owned for a long time, I'm right underneath with my torch, my BDI, looking around. Salter can get at it, and if it's not been moved for a while, not been protected, then we can get a little bit of corrosion on the chassis, and we don't want that. So this one is not going to suffer from that, because this is the middle of Middle England. That's where it's lived for the last 20 years. Laika sign there. We've got a tow bar, nice tow bar. You're not going to reverse into that reverse bull bar. Right, what have we got here? We've got the standard Thetford cassette toilet. These have been used for many years all over Europe. That's all clean and nice. Any damage to the back? No, we just got those stickers really, nothing to mention. We've got a Fioma F45 awning. Any damage at the side? No damage as such. As I say, I'm dropping it 1 1/4 point. We're going to drop it 1 1/2 points. So we're going to call it 8.5 out of 10, being really critical. A little bit of the plastic on that is just a little bit loose there and cracked. That's, if the camera can come closer in, that's the, I don't know what we should call that. That's the cover plastic over the proper plastic. So, and there's a little thing there. If you're fussy and I'm fussy, I'd probably Stanley Blade, neaten that down, take that down, maybe paint that bit, or leave that and just neaten up that. Again, being critical. We'll have a quick look while we're here. Electric step. Now this is where it gets good, folks. I'll step inside if the camera can come in. I just wanted to show you the bed. So we've got the fixed bed at the back. We've got just over 4 foot wide at the widest point there, and just under 4 foot there. 6'1", maybe 6'2" long. Definitely 6'1", you're safe. So if you're 6'2", you might be folding the legs at night, but anyone 6'1" under is safe. There's lots of things that make this special. These were in a cover underneath the fixed bed, brand new scatter cushions that match the material of the front. Would you believe the matching cover for the mattress, brand new, never been used, was in a cellophane wrapper? Just incredible. And that matches obviously the material. There's the mattress spotless. So that's been covered with a cover. That's been in a cellophane wrapper. We just lift this up. Lovely little piston rings get mixed up now. Piston gas struts. And you can see there you've got the boiler, you've got the... I'll show you lots of pictures underneath this advert with the eBay advert. You've got the water pump and you've got a vast array of space to use. So this now is set up for the bed. Normally that's 2 forward facing with 3-point seat belts, but I'll show you when I take the camera in and take over the camera myself. This has got the bed. Now this is 4.5 foot wide by that 6'1" length again. Or you don't have to have these slide in, and then you've got a nice cosy, well, maybe 2 kids as a double bed, but certainly a nice cosy 3.5 foot by 6'1" single bed. Yeah, I'm not quite sure, perhaps some of you Laika experts hopefully will comment below this video what this is. We just have a little latch here, and that latches that way. I was expecting it to latch that way and then maybe a bit of a bed extension, but it comes across this way. I don't know. Is it a mini table? Can you put your cup of tea or your glass of wine there? I do not know. Answers on a postcard, feel free to comment below in the video. But that's just showing you the bed. Obviously, I'll take over the camera, we'll go for a drive, and then we'll show you the extra features inside. The other thing I'll just show you now. Also, everything's brand new in the cellophane wrappers, the scatter cushions, the mattress over cover. Underneath the bed, would you believe, brand spanking new, so this is 26 years old, clearly have been taken and removed from brand new. They were put in a cover underneath the bed, was the fitted mats and carpet that go all the way through as well as the front. So I'll just show you. There's no way I'm standing on that. That's 26 years old, brand new underneath on top, over the herringbone floor, which is beautiful. That's all fitted. Probably the next owner is going to fold these up and keep it in protection, and it's easy to wipe the herringbone lino floor. But that's your choice. I've put some mats over the top. But just to demonstrate that, we'll just pull the electric step in. Loads of little features. Fly net on here. We've got an extra lock. That'll come across there. So that'll, I'm not quite sure. Oh, it's on a magnet, yes. So you can do that across, bring that across, and you can get some fresh air, but you're not getting the midges, particularly if you're going to go around the locks in the summer in Scotland. How do we clip that? That goes onto there, and that clips into place. Laika emblem again. We've even got a little bin there. What have we got here? A little vent here for the hob. This is a vent for engineers to access the reverse of the fridge. Mains hookup. We've even got an outside gas. I did say it was the premium Italian brand. So that's an outside gas supply. So if you're having a gas barbecue, you can use the gas from the actual bottles. So again, coming back to this mat situation, we've got the last owner's even cut your little hole to fit the mat into there. I've put that mat on, and it's even got fitted mats anyway. So it's got fitted mats, the Laika fitted mats that all are stitched and fit absolutely perfect all the way around. They even fit behind the driver's seat as well as the passenger seat. But yeah, it's just fantastic. I think it's that time. Dennis is raring to go. We'll have a little flyover and then we'll go for a drive, folks. little flyover there, Dennis. I still don't know why I talked to Dennis the drone. I don't think he can hear, but never mind. So yeah, just to reiterate, this will be on sale, on auction, with no reserve. I'm going to reduce the auction. I normally do a 10-day auction. There's a couple of reasons for that. It gets more people can see it, and it gives me a bit more time if I need to do a service or an MOT or anything in between. This is all ready to go. So I'm going to do this on a 7-day auction, no reserve. As always, standard rules. I'm putting my name to it, so I'm going to give you 3 months total warranty. I'm going to give you 6 months on the engine and gearbox, because I know everything's running fine, and that timing belt was done 15,000 miles ago. So again, any questions? But it's on sale with no reserve. Let's go for a drive. Drive time. Seatbelt on. So with the towed alarm system, I think it's the right hand button, you put the ignition on, it flashes the code out, which is the immobiliser for the Fiat part into the key. Press the button once, it sends off another light, and then she starts first time. No surprise. Oh, it locks the front doors automatically, so we've got central locking. Now we've got electric windows, but we have got one foible, folks. No promises. I'll see if I can find you a switch. The left-hand side switch that does the passenger window on the driver's door does not operate. So, of course, I can reach over and operate the passenger window up and down, no problem whatsoever, from the passenger door card or door switch, but the passenger side does not work from the driver's door. So that's the only fault up to now. We've got a Sony CD player. Would you believe it's got extra? I'm just going to try that. I can hear it working, yes. It's got an extra fan on the dashboard for the back, so you might be able to get a little bit of heat or cooler in the back. There must be a vent somewhere behind this driver's seat. There's an extra fan. Electric mirrors as well. Seatbelt's just caught around my handbrake. Off we go. So we've got a cache for crash camera there, and it seems to be working. That's recording forward. We've got a reversing camera there that's switched on all the time, so we can see at the back there. And we've got a Blaupunkt, there's an invoice from a couple of years ago, a Blaupunkt digital radio aerial that's fitted on the internal part of the front windscreen. So there's been some money spent on this. Power steering. Yes, everything's quite positive. As I say, I drove it back from Somerset and it drives really well. And it's the 2.8. So again, just to reiterate, it's on sale, no reserve, my normal terms apply. It won't be ended early. I never end an auction early. It's fair to everyone concerned on both sides of the auction format. My pet hate seeing other vehicles or other things on eBay with a reserve fee, and no one knows what the reserve fee is. So people have built up the hopes, putting an offer in, agreeing to buy something, and then the seller is not telling what the reserve fee is, and all of a sudden it disappears. That means they've underhandedly sold it somewhere else. Well, that's not fair. That's not the way we work. So yes, in third gear, gearbox is fine, clutch operation, yeah, drove without fault all the way back. We'll take it up to pace when we go around the corner, and it's even got measurements here. The width is 2.32 metres, height 2.8, length 5.98. 598, the magic number for length is 6 metres, I'm told, for insurance purposes, and moreover up to 6 metres if you go on any ferries, continental journeys, or the Highlands of Scotland. You can jump on any ferries, and it's a lot cheaper with a 6-metre motorhome. Right, okay, we're accelerating now in third gear, 40 mile an hour, 45, fourth gear, 50 mile an, oh, she's pulling, yeah, the old saying is pulling like a train. Oh, we're 60 mile an hour already in fourth. Now we're just lowering the revs and we're tootling along. We'll just slow down, overtake the cyclist safely, hopefully. I do need my driving licence because I'm always delivering these vehicles and collecting them for you folks. All the nice ones are cherry pick. Up and down the country, Again, I'll deliver this anywhere in the United Kingdom, even Northern Ireland, but you have to pay my fees. At the moment in 25, we're looking at 350 quid. That's to cover a hotel, a ferry and a flight back. But anywhere else in the United Kingdom, I charge a flat fee. All I ask is £100, and that is a contribution for the fuel and the train ticket back. After a £500 deposit, even if I get to you and you feel it's misdescribed, you're not happy, fingers crossed, it's never happened yet, I'll return you the £500 deposit and I'll drive the camper back. But you're welcome to come and view at Nerd HQ, L40 8JG, Monday to Friday, 9 AM till 3 PM. Sometimes out of those hours and at the weekend is possible, but I can categorically tell you there's someone, the premises manned Monday to Friday. But most people don't view them. They just bid, ring me up, pay the deposit, rely on my honest description, and I deliver it all over the country. And I'll get the train back. Yeah, this does drive well. I've just lowered it now into 45 in fourth. We'll just put it into, oh, it's just cruising now. 45 mile an hour in fifth gear. Beautiful. Okay, I'll take over the camera, and most importantly, I'll show you inside. Nice drive out there. So I've taken over the camera now, and the moments you've been waiting for, I will show you inside. So with it being, it was born in Italy in 1999, so with it being a European model, the door to the leisure side is on the passenger side, or the driver's side rather, so we call that the offside. So yes. So that's the only difference. A lot of the vehicles, they have the leisure door on the passenger side or the near side. So we'll step in. We'll just operate the electric step. Nice little touch. And now we've got, we'll put some lights on. There we go. So now we've got, I've taken that bed now up, and you can see there we've got the table operation. So you've got two 3-point seat belts there. It wouldn't take much of the imagination, or certainly an expert, which is Seatbelt Service, the only company I recommend. They could put you another 2 lap belts in here, so you could have 4. But make no mistake, this is pre-2006, so the law states if there's 4 people travelling, of course they must be seated in the fronts with the seat belts, and 2 passengers must be there. But you can legally carry passenger number 5 and passenger number 6, no problem. With no seat belts, but obviously that's up to you to decide. Yeah, this is just spotless. Last owner has put you a TV. I've not tested that. With everything working as it should, there's no reason why that won't work. But yeah, you've got extra bits in there. You've got sockets. Oh, you've got a little inverter there. So that will bring down or take up the 12 volt to 240 volts. Obviously only low current. But yeah, that's last owner's left you a couple of catches there to save it rattling. Yeah, quality fittings on this. I do like my auto sleepers, but this is really not far behind on quality. Solar panel there. 3-burner gas hob, 3-way fridge, standard 3-way fridge, Electrolux, so you're working on your mains, your 12 volt when you're driving and your gas when you're wild camping. But Steve's checked it off and everything's working as it should do. Yeah, look at the quality on that. That's the Laika emblem on top of the worktop that goes over the kitchen, hot and cold water, cupboard. We've got the Smith cooker grill. We often comment, we have never ever had a faulty Smith oven or grill. Real good quality. What's that? Oh, that's cupboard for all your knives, forks, etc. Another drawer underneath there. We've got lights underneath. I think we've even got an extraction fan. Yes, if the microphone can pick up the extraction fan. Lights underneath on top of the gas hob. We've got the large control panel. We've even got a drop down section in matching worktop and the turnbuckle catch, and that just gives you some extra space there across the leisure door. Let's put that over there. What else have I got to show you? Various main sockets, of course, when you're plugged in. There's a very straightforward bed, but at the moment it's set up for the table, and that is on that catch there, and then that will slide back and forth depending on whether you wanted the table more that way or forward. Opening windows, of course, and everything just works lovely. Large, nice, posh. We've got centre LEDs, and we've got the external ones. We've got another little catches that bring along the fly net, and all that'll, even down to the Laika emblem. Lots of little features on the roof. Ventilation, same goes above the leisure, or the fixed bed as it were. Click clunk, hold firm. Rear Blaupunkt, Alpine speakers. Again, lights or the LED section. Got a Trumatic control panel there, so that will heat up your heater as well as your hot water. Reading lights above the fixed bed. More cupboards. Lovely. So there's your large fixed bed, and as I was saying, this is just on gas struts, so you can lift the mattress there. One hand there, I'm doing it with one hand on the camera, and now we've got access to underneath. So there's the water pump, the hot water boiler, the extra cushions for the filling, and all that space underneath. Wet room, just slide this door across on a little runner there. Beautiful. Everything's lovely. Yeah, it's all clean. It's all nice. Wind up, that'll just bring more air in the toilet area. And of course you've got the blinds. You've got the privacy blackout blind there, and you've got the fly net. Toilet all clean. This is how it came. We actually didn't need to clean the inside. It was totally spotless. The last owner has clearly cherished it and looked after it. Shower, hot and cold shower, hot and cold taps. Vanity unit, cupboard space underneath, toilet roll holder. There's an outlet there for the heater. There's nothing there, but I know what goes in there. A cup, so you just put a cup in there. Towel holder, shower tray, or shower curtain rather. There's your shower tray. Everything's nice and clean, no cracks. No, I'm very, very happy to be putting my name to this. Wardrobe, again, all nice. Lots of features, look at that. Open the wardrobe and it automatically puts the light on. Rail hang, wow! The foot or nothing, look at that. So, you don't want to be reaching in there to hang your clothes. You want to just pull this forward, put your clothes on there, and then push it in. Lovely. There's your crank handle for your awning, and of course it's all clipped in. No rattles when you're driving. Underneath the wardrobe, extra drawers. Just move that. Bit more cupboard space underneath. And as I was saying, brand spanking new, fully fitted, everything's perfect. Herringbone, lino floor. Just all the edging is just fitted neatly as it should do. This is delightful, absolutely lovely. I don't sell many Laikas. I probably count on one hand how many I've sold in the last 10 years, but this came up and I couldn't resist it. So, just to recap, folks, we've got a 1999, I can't pronounce the make, or the model rather. It's a Laika 2.8 turbo diesel. The only advisory on the MOT, check the MOT history, Victor 585 Delta Papa Yankee. The only advisory is wear to the front discs. That may be because the last owner's not been doing many miles last year. You know what, folks? I'm going to include in this sale brand new fitted pads and discs. So we'll take that advisory off the MOT history. So you'll have pads and discs. I'm going to be, on this occasion, I don't even need a service. It was only serviced a couple of months ago and the invoice is in there. So it's just been recently serviced. I'm going to put your pads and discs on. Steve, the habitation guy, has checked off everything. So on this occasion, I'm going to reduce it down to a 7-day auction because it's ready to go. And you will have this on your drive, maybe for the last weekend in August. Will you be the successful bidder? I've said it a few times before, all this needs is a new owner. Will that be you? Good luck with your bidding. My name's Anthony Valentine, the Camper Nerd. 0798 526 1078 with any questions. One final thing I forgot to mention. This, you need a C1 licence. It's just over the 3.5 tonne, so it's 3,850 kilograms. What that means is, us of a certain age, was it 1997, of a certain age, we got grandfathers right, so we can drive these no problem. If you're a young pup and you passed your test after 1997, you will have to have a C1 licence, but everyone else qualifies and you'll be able to drive this no problem. I think there's a law at 70, you're only granted it every 3 years. So yeah, just be wary of that. You need a C1 licence. Most people of a certain age have got that. We can drive up to 7.5 tonne. But if you passed your test after 1997, I'm afraid you're going to need a C1 licence, which is an extra small test. So good luck with your bidding, and I'll catch you on that next video. And the next camper van on auction is going to be this lovely Motorhome Duo Plus, and that's a 1.9 Berlingo with about 106,000 miles. Catch you on that next video, folks.